What is going on, guys? In this video we're going to be covering the Lament Dungeon in Remnant 2, and this dungeon gives you a lot of items like the Tinged Ring, the Red Widow armor set, and the Lodestone crown. Also, items found here can then be used in other areas of the game to get more items, so I will be covering how to get those as well. Further, you get shown which enemies you face here, the random awards with the potential hidden events that can spawn within the dungeon. Then we cover how to complete the dungeon's event or puzzles to get every possible item within the dungeon. So if that sounds interesting, let's get right into the video. This dungeon has the undead tomb layout, so the enemies and the potential hidden events that spawn here can also be found within the chimney and the twisted chantry dungeons. For the hidden events that can spawn, you have 3 in total, and there is a chance you will get one of the possible 3 when you visit the dungeons. The dungeon will have the undead tomb layout, which means the enemies that spawn here are the root zombies, which are easily taken down, but don't let them get too close because they can grab you, making it much harder not to die. The big blob zombies will explode if you take them down, and also when you are close by, you can easily bait the explosion to take them down quickly by just moving close to them and then dodge away. With these root zombies come the Shaman elite as well. He will summon more root zombies and resurrect them if they're taken down into red glowing zombies that will always explode when you take them down. So the best play is to ignore the ads and take down the Shaman first. The Stalker elite will spawn here as well, which will be more aggressive at close range and will teleport around you. When it is low health, it starts channeling to duplicate itself and will need to be taken down during the channeling to defeat it. The final enemy that spawns is the big root Hulk that likes to throw his big exploding arms at you, which are super effectively annoying. So be sure to dodge these and take him down from afar, because close by he's not so friendly either. In the dungeon, there will always be one random ring or amulet from a random item loot pool from Yaesha. You can check the description of which items there are in this loot pool. And there also will be a Tome of Knowledge on the ground for a trade point. The random hidden events that can be spawned in this dungeon are the Coffin Room. When spawned in, you can encounter an open area with a coffin down by some stairs and see a locked door above it. If you stand by the locked door, you can jump down into the coffin below and will enter a water section with enemies in it. If you go to the left side behind the stairs from where you entered, you can find the Berserker's Crest ring, which will increase your melee charge speed and reduces the melee stamina cost. If you move through the water section and go atop the stairs in the back, you will encounter a glitch root Hulk boss with boss modifiers. If you want to know what the modifiers do, I have put a list of them down in the description, so you can check them out there. I recommend, if you do fight this boss, that you open up the door first, so that when you die you don't have to go to the water section again, and you can also shoot the boss from long range. If you take down this glitch boss, you will receive the Extender Mutator, which increases the magazine capacity of the weapon. And on level 10, it will increase the reload speed by 50% if the clip is empty. The Secret Tomb is another event that can spawn in, which is located behind a illusionary wall in a small room with a coffin inside. You can also see a small hole above a wall before the small room to indicate the event spawned. If you crouch to the right of the coffin in the small room, you can go through the wall, and following this path will lead you to another water section with traps. If you have overcome these deadly yet annoying traps, you will be in an open area. If you follow the left path by the stairs in the middle, you can find the Tomb Dweller's Ring, which will increase your movement speed after vaulting, climbing, leaping, and entering the water. It also reduces the fall damage. If you then follow the right path from the stairs in the middle, you will find the Necklace of the Flowing Life in a coffin, which increases Grey Health conversion by 100%. And when Grey Health conversion is triggered, you gain it 5 times the amount as mod power. This item can also be used with the Ring of Omens to be able to do the misty dodges. The Necromancer's Tomb is the final hidden event here. When it spawns, you encounter a room with 4 statues. If you shoot down the crystals from the 4 statues' heads, a hidden path will be revealed. And going down, the elevator will let you find the Lithic Signet Ring, which reduces all incoming damage by 5%. But if you turn around after picking up the ring, you probably see a statue is out of place. This is actually an elite enemy that only moves when the camera is not facing it, and when they get close, they will one-shot you. These guys will follow you around in the dungeon, so you will need to take them down to lose them. This is done by quickly turning the camera left and right, so it doesn't face them and back. Here you have a brief moment to shoot the crystal on their heads, and if the health bar is depleted, they will die. At the start of the dungeon, you will encounter a little maze with arrow shooting traps. Here you just need to crouch, move, and zigzag through it to avoid the arrows. Once you get to the end of it, you can open up a door, and here you will enter the puzzle room from the dungeon. But first, you will need to take the left path and go around to get to the second floor where the lock mechanism from the puzzle is located. To find the solution, you need to go back to the first floor and find a book on the ground. On the first page, you can see a color icon that will indicate which blanket color you need to look for from the dead pan laying around the room. So if you see the red color icon, you now need to look at the dead pan with the red blankets on them and memorize the icon on the wall above them, and then put those icons from the wall into the lock mechanism and the door will then open. There isn't a correct order for the icons as long as you line up the icons up displayed on the walls from the correct colored blankets, then it will open. After you open up the door, you can find 2 coffins. If you open them up, a glitch mini-boss will spawn the Wither. They're actually called aberrations, but I like to say glitch because it's just easier and they really look like glitches. But there might be a bug that it isn't spawning correctly in this location. This happens to me multiple times when the hidden coffin event is spawning in this dungeon. And if you open up the coffins there, it will spawn in that location instead. If you take it down, you will get the Override Mutator, which lets critical hits increase melee, critical chance, and crit damage by 5% for 7.5 seconds, and it will stack up to 5 times. He also drops the Colcat's Razor, which has 2 uses, but we're going to get to that later. First, we need to get the armor. If you now move to the checkpoint, you can find the Blood-Tinged Ring, and this will let you gain 2 health regeneration per second within 10 meters of a bleeding entity. For the armor, you can drop down in the corner where the checkpoint is, and if you go to the right, you can crouch down in a hole underneath the waterfall, and if you follow it, you can get a key to open up the next door. If you follow the path from the door, you will have to face deadly traps, what can easily traverse by going to the left and then the right directly when they spawn in, avoiding everything. But if you're having trouble with this, you can just equip the Challenger class and the Black Cat Band to run just through it like a maniac. And if you get hit, you just get revived and you can get past it. At the end, you can open up the coffin and the Red Widow armor set is going to be inside. Now that we get the armor, there is also a second path which you can take. What you might already have seen when you open up the shortcut from the second floor from the puzzle room. If you go there, you can see another path. This is where you will be needing the quest item you got from the Wither boss. If you follow this path, you will see pillars in the air with icons on them, and the icons will represent a hidden walkway. To find it, you can just shoot in front of the pillars, and if your bullets impact in the air, you will find the walkway, and then see which icon is on the pillar, and you can follow that pillar's icon to the end to get to the door. Now, if you stand by the door, you will need to interact with the quest item in the menu to make the key come out of the thing, and then you can use it to open up the door. Behind the door, you will find the Ring of Diversion, which increases the invulnerability window while evading and sliding. But there is one item left in this room above your head. To get it, you will need to follow a hidden path behind the illusionary wall on the left side by the entrance, and you will find a boat to get to the Lodestone Crown, which is a single piece of head armor, but it has some special use. If you go to the Bedell of the Vaughns at the start from the Ravager story arc in Yaesha and wear it, he will recognize where it is from and will give you the Lodestone Ring, which increases all the damage dealt to eliminated enemies by 5%. But if you don't know what this means, it is actually a combo with the Lodestone crown, which does illuminate things up when you wear it, and then you will deal more damage. So there's a final item you can get, and that revolves around doing the Lossome Nightweaver story arc up to the point where you are at the Nightweaver's web. If you're here, you can put the Colcat's Razor quest item you found in the Lament into it, and you will receive the Nightweaver's Grudge, which is not possible to get in adventure mode because you will need to have these two biomes spawning in one campaign mode. This can be super tedious to do because you will need to reroll Lossome first to get the Nightweaver story arc. Then you need to complete that biome fully, complete the labyrinth after, and then you have to go to Yaesha, hoping you will get the Lament as a side dungeon, because if you do not get it, you have to do all of this progress again to make the dungeon spawn, and then you can take down the Wither Glitch for the quest item. If you got it, you can go back to the Nightweaver's web, and then you can get the Amulet, which lets you gain 20% crit chance and haste when within 15 meters of an entity suffering from a status effect, which is pretty good. It might be possible to join a friend to do this in co-op, but I'm not sure it will work with the quest item not being in your inventory once you join co-op. But guys, those were all the stuff you can find within the dungeon. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If it did, you could leave a like to support the video and leave a comment down below if you got some questions. If you want more gaming content just like this one, you can subscribe to the channel, and if you're looking for some live content, you can check us out on Twitch. But I thank you guys for watching, and I see you in the next one.